Hey, it's Tom Michael, General Manager here at Boise State Public Radio. Right now, public media is under threat. The White House has asked Congress to take back funding already approved for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, funding that sustains Boise State Public Radio and NPR stations like ours across the country. We stand to lose over $500,000 annually, jeopardizing our newsroom, programming, and mission. You can help. Learn how to take action at boisestatepublicradio.org/funding.
From the studios of Boise State Public Radio News, I'm Gemma Gaudette. More Idaho Matters right now. Author Kathleen West is pivoting from her well-known fiction novels to a quirky, feel-good mystery caper. It's the perfect read for a lazy summer day. And Kathleen is joining us now to talk more about her latest book, Making Friends Can Be Murder. Kathleen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. What a great intro. I love that description of the book.
Well, oh my goodness. Okay, so give folks a synopsis of the book and the main character.
Sure. The book starts, what has happened is our main character, Sarah Jones, has moved from Vermont to Minneapolis. And she has a very common name, obviously. And when she gets to Minneapolis, she joins a group of same namers in a club for all people named Sarah Jones. And they're together for a while and do some creative projects together. And then another woman in Minneapolis, also named Sarah Jones, is found murdered. And the group decides that it's their sort of destiny or responsibility to investigate the case.
Oh, so where did you come up with this idea? Because I think it's so funny that it's just this, it's in the sense, it's like, oh, how many Sarah Jones are there? I mean, probably more than we can count.
Yeah. And I used a couple of websites to figure that out with Social Security data too. So there are quite a few. The idea came because my name is actually pretty common too, Kathleen West. And I very frequently get emails for other Kathleen Wests. And sometimes the emails are really personal, like somebody wants to invite me to a family dinner, or someone wants to tell me that Uncle Jim died, or sometimes other Kathleens are looking to rent apartments. And a lot of times I felt like, well, maybe I should write these people back and let them know that I'm not the right person. And so I just started thinking that through, like, what would happen if I engaged with all these other random Kathleen Wests in the world? And a few iterations later, we have this group of intrepid crime solvers.
I have to tell you, I don't know what it's like at all to have a common name.
Right.
It is truly like and can I just tell you, here's what's really funny. So, because people have never been able to pronounce my name properly, it's Gemma, but I get Jenna, Gemma, Gina, it goes on and on and on, right? My entire life, to the point that when I was 7 years old, I have a very vivid memory of coming home from school being quite dramatic, crying and looking at my mom and say, why couldn't have you just named me Sally? And
oh my gosh, that's perfect, because it's a name for Sarah too.
Yeah. And so so what I love about this though is, when you live with a common name, I mean, I even see it with my husband. His name is Mike. And if someone yells out Mike, very rarely does he turn around because there are so many Mikes. I mean, is that kind of what, Sarah was going through, right? And this idea of like, I am just one of many.
Yeah. And she is also trying to invent herself, our main character, when she moves. She is a personal trainer, but she had failed at going to medical school. She has a deep and intractable fear of blood, and so had to drop out of medical school partway through. And so she was already living a second chance life, or a second choice life. She's not doing exactly what she wants to be doing. And I think that plus this denominator of having these very common names, she feels like she could kind of be anybody in this new town. So she meets these other people, and of course they're not anybody. They're all very specific, and they have their own hopes and dreams, including the one in the group who is not actually a Sarah Jones, just, marauding as one. And that person, of course, tries to take advantage of her.
Okay. So where did that idea come from? That you have all these Sarah Joneses. Why in the world would someone want to come in and impersonate somebody?
Sarah Jones. It actually is.
Are you looking for friends? I
Yeah,
mean,
well, okay, so the group starts because there's a 17-year-old who does something stupid at school, and part of her punishment, brought down by the head of the upper school, who's a nun, based on a nun at my own Catholic girls' school when I was growing up. Her job
mhm.
is to create this intergenerational group for friendship, like authentic friendship, and to use social media for a genuine purpose. So that's how the group starts, and everyone kind of has to have a reason for joining it. And our fake Sarah Jones, her con is that she finds people with really common names and meets them, and they feel
Oh.
like it's sort of magical to meet someone with their same name who's like a perfect friend for them, and that's her way into people's lives. So there's been a few before Sarah Jones when she eventually gets there.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay, and so this is also part of why when this one Sarah Jones is found dead, all of a sudden it's like, well, could it be this imposter in the group? And when I say this is quirky and a caper, I think that that describes this book perfectly.
Yeah, it's so funny that you use the word quirky, because I handed it into my editor and she said, this is optimistic, quirky, and fun. And right away, like, I latched onto that description. I even printed it on a t-shirt. So I think that you hit it right on the head. It is kind of weird. It's an odd concept. And it's the most fun book that I've ever written. It's very
Oh,
light. All of the characters are likable. In some of my previous books, people would say, like, well, I love this story, but it really stressed me out because this one character always does a terrible thing or makes a bad decision. And in this book, like, I just don't think readers are going to feel that way. So your description of, filling a summer day, like an easy summer day with this book, like, that's really my hope for it.
it reminds me of Deanna Rayburn's Killers of a Certain Age and her
Yes, I've
sequel,
heard that before,
which
but I haven't read that book.
oh my gosh, you have to. So
Okay.
good. So good. Where why did you decide to kind of take a turn and really kind of go away from what you are used to writing?
Well, when I first started writing, so I'm a teacher by day, that's my day job, and I'm a middle-aged mom. I was really interested in kind of all of the issues surrounding motherhood, competitive parenting that I
Mm,
was seeing at school and my home life, and friendships between moms that form and dissolve when kids get older, the impact of our younger experiences on our middle-aged selves. Like, I was interested in all of those things. And after I wrote my first three books, I sort of felt like I had said everything I wanted to say about suburban motherhood, or my own kind of experience in it, or tangential experiences of other people,
mhm.
like me. So I really was looking to go a different direction, and I pitched a few ideas to my publisher that were much darker. And my publisher was like, well, this doesn't really read like a Kathleen West novel. And I'm like, why? Because of the pool of
Oh.
blood and the, like, so it took us a while to find, to find the concept that was going to work. And when we arrived at it, it really is me, like this lightness, like the dialogue, the text messages, like, I found it wasn't easy to write at all, but the finished project is very much me, yeah, in a new way. And I think readers in general right now are interested in genre fiction. There are a lot of mystery readers out there, a lot of romance readers out there. And I went to a Catholic girls' school, so writing romance does not come naturally to me. But mystery was really an exciting place to go because I've been a mystery reader my whole life.
You know what I liked about this too, though, is I like a good mystery, like a kind of like a capery thing.
Mhm.
And sometimes I do like those ones that are, those psychological thrillers, but they
Yes.
can be really heavy and really deep. And there is something about like this time of year as we're going into summer where I want something lighter, but I also don't always want to pick up a rom-com. So
Mhm.
I think that this just hits such a great balance.
Thank you so much. I really hope it resonates with readers like that too. And one thing that I really like about the book is that all of the characters, including our murderer, you if you don't like them, you definitely feel empathy for them and understand where they're coming from. So I don't think there's going to be that one controversial character where people are like, oh man, love to hate her, or that person really bugged me.
Mhm.
I think these are kind of like an appealing group of people, and they're very diverse and intergenerational. All they really have in common is they have that same name.
So I want to talk a little bit about this intergenerational friendship, because I think sometimes this goes underappreciated. And because I'm finding in my own life that I all of a sudden have friends who are, of course, like my age, right? But now
Mhm.
that I'm of a certain age, I have friends who are younger than me, maybe by 10, 15 years. But I also now have female friends who are, 70 years old, who are,
Mhm.
20 some years older than me. And I never kind of expected that because I was like, how do you find commonality? But these friendships have been really beautiful. So, I mean, have you experienced that in your own life? And is this part of the reason why you wanted to bring these intergenerational friendships to light?
Yes, absolutely. I am 47 now. And so I had some older friends that I had met in graduate school, or when I was the young teacher at school, I would meet older women and become friends with them and have had long lasting friendships. And now, because I am that certain age, I also have friends who are 15 years younger. And I even have this lovely colleague who is only 23, right? And her dad was my boss when I first started teaching. And she's so great. And I just love being friends with her. And I think you miss out on a lot if you limit your friend choices to just people right in your demographic. And lucky for me, in my profession, there is a broad range of people that I work with. And, schools are crowded with all kinds of personalities. So I've been really lucky in that way. But yeah, I really liked exploring the connections between the people. And also, many of them are impacted by grief and they come
Mm,
together over their grief. And I thought it was interesting to see how grief played out, at different ages. And I'm interested to
mhm.
see how that happens for me too.
Well, I have to say, I think it is just such a fun book and there's twists and turns, but it's, as I said, I think the best way to describe it is quirky. So before I let you go, I mean, what are you hoping when folks pick up this book?
I hope they just really love it. I hope it's just really fun. In the past, I have really shied away from reading my reviews. I've been very sensitive about it, but for this book, I've
Hmm.
been trying some different things, and I did read some reviews, and I was really happy to find that the book isn't really controversial. People are just saying like this is a really fun book to read. So I hope people pick it up and laugh a lot, and also have some like heartfelt little moments in there. Maybe they think of their own lives or reflect on something, but mostly this is a book to enjoy.
Kathleen, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today. Really appreciate it. We've been speaking with author Kathleen West about her new book. It is called Making Friends Can Be Murder. It is out now. This is the Idaho Matters podcast. I'm Gemma Gaudette.
Planet Money helps you understand the economy. We find the people at the center of the story.
Garbage in New York, that was like a controlled substance.
We show you how money influences everything.
Tell me what you like by telling me how you spend your money.
And we dig until we get answers.
I had a bad feeling you were going to bring that up.
Planet Money finds out. All you have to do is listen. The Planet Money podcast from NPR.